Okay, so in our last video, in this video, we're going to talk about budgeting. Budgeting is a spending and savings plan. Okay, so here's Pat. Pat looks like they're running now. Pat earns $1,600. Okay, they pay 20% taxes. Okay, as we did in our previous example, which is $320. We'll spell this out here in a second. Okay, 20% taxes, take home pay is budgeting is a spending and savings plan. Pat earns $1,600, pays 20% in taxes. In other words, 20 cents on every dollar goes to pay taxes. And take-home pay, as we talked about in the last video, was $1,280. Okay, the taxes were $320. Okay, so this is called net pay. So budgeting is figuring out how to make our net pay last and also satisfy any kind of savings goals. Got to have savings goals. You cannot spend everything you make month after month. It's a very bad idea. You have got to put yourself in a position where if you need to not work for a while, you can not work for a while and survive on savings. Anyway, okay, so here we go. So we have Pat. So Pat, there's Pat again. Pat's gross pay or net pay, net monthly income is $1,280. Okay. Everything else we're going to subtract from that. So Pat has rent. Pat has a car payment. Pat has car insurance. Pat has health insurance. Utilities, groceries, phone. And you're going to have an assignment where you kind of work on these same things. And you are going to create a budget for yourself. I'm just sort of showing you how this works. Internet, you got to have some cable. Okay. Entertainment, this is your fun money. This is when you're young, you want to do this a lot, but unfortunately you don't have the money to do it. Clothing, you're going to need to buy some new clothes. I know how everybody loves their shoes and their boots and everything else. And then we're just going to say other. Okay, there are so many things that aren't even listed here that you end up spending your money on. So, okay, so our goal is to not spend everything we make. Let's put a price tag on all these other things, all these things. Okay, so for rent, we're going to say you're splitting a place. So $700 divided by 2 people is $350 in rent, and that $350 in rent is going to include some of, you might have to pay for water or heat or something. We'll figure that out. Car payment, let's say your car payment is $100 and your car insurance is $100. Okay, and so health insurance, let's just call that another $100. Nice round numbers. Utilities, this is, let's say utilities, you have $100 divided by 2 people, so that's going to be $50. Groceries, let's call that $40 a week times 4 weeks in a month. Let's call that $160. That's really not eating very well either. Phone, $60. Internet, $30. Let's say you're splitting this. This is 60 divided by 2. Okay, that's how we got the 30. That's how we got their phone. You're on your own with your phone. Cable, $80 divided by 2 people, $40. Entertainment, you're gonna kind of not live very large. You're gonna have let's just shorten this so I can write entertainment. That's an abbreviation. You get $10 a week times 4. Let's say you were gonna go to a movie and get some popcorn once a week. So that's $10 times 4, and so you got $40 for that. And clothing, this is $40 times 1 time per month. Ooh, a lot of people are not going to like that. $40. Oh, and let's just say that other things we're not even thinking about. I mean, you got toiletries, you got toilet paper, you got just stuff, life stuff. Okay, $50. When you add all this together, all right, your total is going to be $1,120. $1,120. Savings is the difference between this here is equal to net pay minus all of your, these are all expenses. Okay, all these things are expenses. Net pay minus total expenses is equal to savings, and you have a grand total of $160 savings. Savings meaning you put that money away just in case, because you need to have savings. Now, something I want you to we need to do here. You're going to be asked to create a percentage. Okay, let's put that in this column. The percentage column. To give you an example, we're just going to do one of these, or we'll do a couple. So, for example, rent percentage is $350 divided by, we're going to divide this by the $1,280. And if I do that, take that amount, if I take 350 and divide it by, 350 divided by, this is not working, equal to this divided by this. Okay, so we end up with 0.273, and since the 3 is not 5 or more, it's 3 is considered 4 or less, we're going to just call this 0.27 or 27%. Okay, so we're going to go up here and we're going to write 27%. Let's look at this savings, for instance. The savings, if you need to do that math and write it down, pause the video and write it down. Okay, so we're supposed to save about 20% of our net monthly income. Let's take the $160 that we had in savings, and let's divide that by 1,280. Let's see. 160 divided by 1,280 is equal to 0.125, and that is equal to, really, we could call it, you could call it 13%, because this 5 is 5 or more, let it soar, like we talked about in a previous video, which takes the 2 and turns it into a 3. So we would round this up to 13%. We could have also expressed it as 12.5%. Again, all we're doing is taking where the decimal was, 0.125, and we're moving that decimal place over 2 times. We can also take 0.125 and multiply it by 100 and get the same answer. If our goal is to save 20% or even 15% of our money each month, and we're only saving 13 or 12.5%, depending on how you round it, we're not saving enough money. Okay, so for each of these, you need to figure out what percentage each of these items is of the $1,280. So what percentage is 100 of the 1,280? What percentage is 50 of the 2,000? Okay, and so that's how, because for instance, car, oh my gosh, we don't even have any gas. Uh-oh, no gas for the car. $40 a week. $40 a week for gas. Well, that's $160. Uh-oh. Minus 160 equals 0 savings. Sorry, folks, you're broke.